Customizing a model matters when a pre-trained model is not enough for the task at hand. Using models through Llama, Hugging Face, ChatGPT, or Gemini means working with pre-trained models. They learn skills from data supplied during training, which saves the time and effort of building foundational models from scratch. For most generic tasks, a new model is not necessary because modern AI already handles standard requirements well. For widely known information, creative writing, summaries, translations, or style changes, prompt engineering is often enough to get excellent results. When the needed information was not in the model's original training data, retrieval augmented generation is the ideal approach, including recent events, organization-specific documents, and details from a particular report. In a specialized industry, internal reports may follow a strict template, use proprietary jargon, and require a unique structured format. A base LLM can understand language, and RAG can supply specific data points. But consistency becomes difficult when a task demands exact formatting, correct proprietary terminology, and a structure that differs from general training. Prompting helps somewhat, but it is not enough for true reliability in a narrow technical niche. When a pre-trained model cannot meet deep specialization or follow highly specific requirements reliably, there are two ways forward: build a new model from scratch or fine-tune a pre-trained model. The next step is to compare building a new model with fine-tuning an existing one. The choice is not one-size-fits-all and depends on multiple factors. Choosing between building a new model and fine-tuning an existing one is a major application decision. The right path depends on the task, the resources available, and the performance. You building a new model gives complete control and customization. The trade-off is that it demands extensive data, substantial computing power, and strong expertise. This is the new model approach. Fine-tuning a pre-trained model uses existing knowledge to train faster and often improve performance with less data. The trade-off is less control. And biases from the original training can carry an AI. Bias means systematic errors that consistently distort results or create unfair prejudice. It often comes from training data shaped by stereotypes, historical inequality, or samples that do not. This is the fine-tuning approach. To decide between the two options, compare their pros and cons, and then match the method to the situation. Build a new model when the task is very specific and has unique requirements. This kind of task is one reason to start from scratch. A large labeled data set also supports building a new model. You also need the expertise and resources for extensive model development. Fine-tune a pre-trained model when you want to use existing knowledge and work with less data. Fine-tuning is especially useful in three situations: when labeled data is limited for the specific task, when you want to reuse existing knowledge and train faster, and when the new task is similar to what the pre-trained model already learned. Another advantage is that a smaller model with fewer parameters can still perform very well after fine-tuning. In some cases, it can even outperform a generic model with billions of parameters. Building a new model gives complete control, precise customization, and no dependence on pre-trained models or external resources. But it usually requires extensive labeled data, is computationally expensive, and demands expertise. Fine-tuning a pre-trained model leverages existing knowledge, uses less labeled data, trains faster, and is often easier to implement. Its trade-offs are less control, possible inherited bias, and that it may not always be optimal for unique tasks. Fine-tuning uses different strategies depending on how the data is labeled and how the model learns from feedback. Adapting a powerful pre-trained model to excel at specific tasks is important, but specialization is not one-size-fits-all. Three primary strategies are commonly used for fine-tuning large language models. The three strategies are self-supervised fine-tuning, supervised fine-tuning, and reinforcement learning fine-tuning. Self-supervised fine-tuning is the next strategy to examine. Self-supervised fine-tuning learns from patterns by predicting the next word again and again. That same idea can be used to customize a model by training it on selected text, even to match a particular writing voice. Supervised fine-tuning is more direct. Each input is paired with a label or answer. For question answering, question-answer pairs teach the model which answer matches which question, improving accuracy and precision. Reinforcement learning fine-tuning adds a feedback loop. A reward model evaluates outputs, ranks responses, and guides the model toward better results. In InstructGPT, human labelers rated outputs, and those ratings train the reward model to align with human preferences. Fine-tuning methods differ in how much technical detail and coding they require. There are two main paths: a no-code platform that simplifies the process, and a code-based approach where you manage data preparation, configuration, and training yourself. For a first attempt, the no-code option is the easier starting point. Fine-tuning does not always require deep ML coding or infrastructure expertise at the start. No-code tools simplify the process by hiding training setup, hardware management, and training loop details. These tools use specialized interfaces, often graphical, to abstract away the complexity underneath. That makes the workflow much more direct. Prepare the data, choose the outcome, and let the tool. A widely used example is Hugging Face AutoTrain. It can run as a hosted workspace online or as software on your own machine, and it guides you through the main. AutoTrain is available either as an online hosted workspace or as downloadable software. In both cases, it walks you through the essential fine-tuning steps in a straightforward way. First, you upload prepared training and validation files. Next, you select the base model to fine-tune and set key training parameters with point and click. Options are simple forms. Then AutoTrain handles this interface, centers the workflow on choosing the model, providing training and validation data, and setting the tuning parameters. Using the interface, the main tasks are simply selecting the model, providing the training and validation data, and setting the parameters to tune. The same options can also be provided from the command line. Instead of using the interface, you can launch the same kind of experiment by passing the options directly in a command line command. Here, the command specifies a text classification task, the Distilbert base model, the project name, the data path, the train and validation splits, the text and target columns, and training settings. This is the CLI mode for AutoTrain. The CLI is a useful shortcut for launching experiments, but it can behave like a black box that hides internal logic and limits detailed tweaking. To gain total control over technical fine-tuning gives much more control than no-code tools. It lets you manage data preparation, set detailed training parameters, and understand how training works underneath. That extra control comes with a cost. You need more time to learn the concepts and to write code for building and managing the fine-tuning pipeline. The process is shown with Hugging Face libraries. The practical path is organized around preparing datasets, fine-tuning a standard classification model, and fine-tuning an LLM. First, load, process, and format the data correctly for training. A robust dataset also depends on careful preparation choices. Next, a model like Distilbert can be used as a simpler example. It shows the basic steps for training a model on a specific text classification task. Fine-tuning an LLM is different from fine-tuning a smaller classification model. It uses different kinds of data and techniques for more advanced customization. Core libraries are powerful, but open-source utilities can make fine-tuning faster and less demanding on memory. Unsloth is one example, and tools like it can lower the hardware barrier no matter which approach you use. The training process has 3 main steps. The same sequence also applies when building a model from scratch. The first step is to prepare the data. Then comes fine-tuning the model. After that, test the new model. Prepare the data first, then fine-tune the model. Finally, test the new model. Fine-tuning workflows come down to 3 steps. Prepare the data, fine-tune the model, and test performance. Fine-tuning specializes a pre-trained model for a specific task. It helps when generic models, even with prompt engineering or RAG, still miss unique requirements. Instead of building a model from scratch, fine-tuning adapts an existing one more efficiently. It reuses prior knowledge, needs less data, and can even let a smaller model outperform A. There are two ways to think about fine-tuning. One is how the model learns, self-supervised, supervised, or reinforcement learning. The other is how you run the process. No-code tools like every fine-tuning workflow starts with data preparation. That is the first step, and it is the most crucial place to begin.